Live from KTVN Reno, you're watching 2 News at 5:30.
When you start comparing salaries to the public, we do have a tough retention of our staff.
Lawmakers are hoping to give a pay raise to correctional officers. They say it will actually help with some recruiting and retaining of some prison employees. And that is tonight's 2 News big story at 5:30. So the director of the Nevada Department of Corrections says that low salaries, as you can imagine, it makes it hard to find employees and then keep them too. Right. I'm Landon Miller.
And I'm Kristen Remington. Thanks for keeping it here with us. The department has nearly 180 job openings all across the state for correctional officers. Paul Nelson joins us here in the studio after speaking with the director. How much of a raise are we talking about here, Paul?
Well, Kristen, one bill would give a $10,000 raise to teachers, highway patrol troopers, and correctional officers. The prison system says it's seeing good workers leave because they can get paid a lot more elsewhere for similar jobs. Not to mention, it can be harder to recruit because some of the prisons, I should say, are in rural areas. Nevada has about 14,000 inmates in the prison system. That requires a lot of correctional officers. But officials say their salaries make it tough to hire them and keep them around.
It's not unusual to see staff with $500 and less come back in their paychecks, which if you're trying to raise a family, it's not sustainable living.
Zorenda says Nevada's salaries are on par with the national average, but that more money is taken out for medical and pension than most states.
The salary itself may look okay, but what they take home is actually a lot lower than the standards in the community.
AB 296 would raise their pay by $10,000 a year.
Imagine if you're going to be working 40 or 50 hours a week in a prison with your life at risk a lot of times and all the difficult work you got to do. That's dangerous. And they're going to give you $350 a week.
The state is also trying to fill job openings in Nevada's prisons.
They've got a 14% vacancy rate. That's insane, because it's not just the vacancy rate that they have, it's also the churn of people that's turning over because you can't pay them enough to stay.
Zorenda says the Ely State Prison has a 24% vacancy rate. He says fewer men are going to prison, but more women are. He says today's inmates have a high rate of mental health issues, drug addictions, and medical problems, things correctional officers have to adapt to.
Staff have to be able to understand and get trained on how to manage this, and it's more difficult. So their jobs are becoming more difficult and the impact is becoming more powerful.
Today, a budget subcommittee approved a 5% rural pay raise for the Ely State Prison and Conservation Camp. Zorenda says that could help with retention, but that it won't necessarily help fill vacancies. Covering the 2019 legislature, Paul Nelson, 2 News.